Welcome back. You're live tonight here on In Focus. South Africa's Artisanal Miners Association has applauded police action after ejecting illegal miners known as zama-zamas from abandoned mines in the West Rand. The association maintains that South Africa still needs to devise a permanent solution to put a stop to illegal mining. Recent events have exposed the extent of dangers that illegal miners pose to surrounding communities. Joining us now is a National Association of Artisanal Miners spokesperson, Zethu Hlatshwayo. Zethu, good evening, and thank you very much for your time and for joining us on In Focus. So, the ANC in Gauteng believes that this land that is sitting, owned previously by mines, that is being disused, must be expropriated and could be put to better use to benefit the communities. Do you think the land of unused mining land, that is, can benefit the people in communities where the land is?
Yeah, no, good evening, my brother, and good evening to your listeners. Yeah, no, definitely. I think it is very much important step for the ANC to say that, and we are in full support, because you would know that there is more than 6,000 ownerless and derelict mines that are seated around South Africa. So if we can expropriate those land in the interest of artisanal miners, you know, it can help the situation, and it can also assist the problem of criminality, because we will be able to put the recently developed policy by the DMRE into effect, and then it will also assist all the communities across South Africa, because these abandoned mines are all over our country.
Yeah. Let's talk about that policy. I mean, do you think that policy is workable? Others have been quite critical of this policy of artisanal and small-scale mining policy of 2022, as published by the minister in March. Part of the considerations is that there could be a sense of ensuring that the land that is identified for artisanal mining prioritizes only the locals, I suppose, in the beginning. Do you think that is something that would be workable?
Yeah, no, most definitely, my brother, because if I can just give you this quote, you know, it said that in the jungle, you know, there is no law, and everyone becomes a law unto themselves. You know, so the issue of regulation is of highest importance, and it can help us and help the situation, because so long as there is no law that can help to make sure that there's accountability, and there's also monitoring and support from the government, I'm sure we wouldn't be having the problems that you are having. But I want to also make a call, you know, to all our brothers and sisters across the length and breadth of our country to join NAM, because we are we are an association that has engaged the government with the issues of developing this policy. Yeah. So we are calling on everyone, because the situation is that if there is no law and there is no association, yeah, to be a mouthpiece of artisanal miners, then you're going to have challenges.
Yeah. So as NAM, talk to me then as NAM. So you're part of developing this policy. Part of what this policy says is, let's limit the artisanal and small-scale mining to surface mining. So the policy says, let's only limit it, put there an option that you should only mine on the surface. You think just by putting that law in place, that policy in place, all of a sudden zama-zamas are going to stop going underground, and they're going to stop digging, and they're just going to stay and mine at the top and on the surface? I mean, do you think that they'll get as much value there on the surface as they do when they go underground?
Yeah, no, thank you very much for a beautiful question. I think as NAM, we have made our submissions to the DMRE, of which we were stressing this very much important issue that we cannot be limited only to surface mining, because you would know that our mines are both open cast, on the surface and underground. So we have made that submission, but we have also realized that there are some of the submissions and some of the initial points that they have put in as a proposal when they were still developing the policy that are missing now in the final gazette. So we will be engaging the national government, the MRE, and the portfolio committees with these issues to make sure that we cover those areas, especially that one of also underground, because we want to also be able to work on a safe environment, whether we are on the surface or underground. Yeah. So we have made a submission on that one.
As artisanal miners currently, what financial assistance are you getting for your operations?
To be quite honest with you, we are a self-funded association. We believe that we can be able to do for ourselves the things that we need to do. That is why we are not able to be in all the communities, to do the work of advocacy and putting NAM out there in South Africa. So it's because of those financial constraints. But sometimes it's better to struggle, without financial support. Until you realize the vision of the association, because it's all about the vision, not about the funding. So long as we are alive, we can be able to push the vision, because men and women out there do need NAM as a vehicle, to assist them in transforming their communities to be better communities, because these mines are posing a negative impact on the environment, on the social and biodiversity. So yeah, maybe that is what I can say on that one.
So you're saying there are 6,000 derelict mines that you know of that have been identified. Part of what the policy suggests is that the minister, empowered through legislation, should identify and reserve areas for artisanal and small-scale mining. Where would these areas be? I mean, are there some areas that you have identified as NAM that could possibly be useful? And how many of them, and what could possibly be the economic impact of those areas being used for artisanal mining?
Yeah, no, thank you. I think that we are situated with two situations. So what would be preferable for us was that the minister could give us a fertile land, mineral-rich land, working with the Council for Geoscience Studies and Mintech. We know all the areas that are endowed with minerals, across South Africa. So working together with the government, we can be able to identify those sites, and we can be able to do artisanal mining in a safe way. But also the situation now that we are seated with is that we have these abandoned mines, dams and tailings across South Africa that we are surviving on. But you know that those dams used to belong to these big mining companies that have deserted South Africa. So we can repurpose, or some of those mines can be worked still and be economically viable and beneficiary to the communities and to artisanal miners. We have done an evidence-based research with the University of Witwatersrand under Sister Ponzo Twala, where we were looking at how many people are benefiting out of artisanal mining. So the first part was looking at the people that are working there, the land. You're looking at the people that are waking up every day to go and do the work. But there are other economies that are connected to artisanal mining. So you find out that the local economic development at the township level, it's really driven by artisanal mining. So there is that potential that that must be unlocked. So through regulation and legalization, then we can be able to create job opportunities, business opportunities, and the other related sectors can be able to benefit positively from regulating this sector.
Zethu, I appreciate your time. Thank you so much for coming on. That's Zethu Hlatshwayo, speaks for the National Association of Artisanal Miners.